Hey crafty friends, it's Tia here at B5 Designs again, and I'm on to show what I got from Echo Park. It's kind of funny. Echo Park, I love them. I did the uh, mini mystery box, and it took about 2 weeks to come. And then like a few days later, I ordered this stuff, and then a couple of days after that, I ordered more. I get on these kicks because I see people making stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to make that. So, um, let me show you. I'm just setting stuff out. What I picked up, and then I have a story. I'll tell. Okay, I got the Firefly collection, and the story that goes with this, and this is what prompted the order, is that I get the monthly journal kits from Rebecca Hoot. You guys hear me talk about it all the time, and I probably showed a video of it, what I got this month. And a lot of the stuff, or some of the stuff, was the Firefly collection. So I was sitting one night in my living room, and I wanted to do something crafty. So I pulled that out, and it had a small, like, traveler sized notebook in it, and it was craft cardstock, and I just went through the cutouts and was tearing them up and just making it all cute. And then I had the chipboard sheet that came with it, and then we went to bed. Well, we have a gate up, so our dogs can't be in the living room unless we're in there. Shut the gate. I had left my little book out, and I said to my husband the next day, I said, oh, I was at work, I think. And I said, oh, I remember I did this on Sunday. And then on Monday I said, oh, I left my little journal that I was working on out on my tabletop desk stand thing that I have in my living room. And I don't want Dakota to get it. Dakota is our dog that we've had, and she loves to get a hold of stuff and chew it up. So I have to be very careful. My husband was like, oh, well, we're not going to be in the living room today, so don't worry about it. And, she's not in there because gate's closed. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So we don't spend a ton of time in our living room. So I had not been in there all week. And then Thursday, when I had the really bad migraine, I stayed in my room because I can close the curtains and it's nice and dark and stuff. And I can do that in my living room too, but it's darker in my bedroom. And so later in the day, I was like, well, I'm going to go try to lay out in the living room for a while. And I come out and I was looking around and I was like, where's my Firefly Traveler's notebook that I was working on? I think it was the day this stuff came in is when I realized it was missing. And I was like, oh no, I think she got to it. But there was some papers on the floor, like, that she chewed up, but none of them looked like the notebook, the Traveler's notebook. And so I was looking all over for it, couldn't find it. And I know for a fact that I left it out. But Rebecca Hoot sends you stuff in the plastic pockets, kind of like what you get your dies from, like, Sizzix in, and they're pretty heavy. Well, I found that, and it was, like, ripped open along the side and bit up. And I'm like, that I didn't think I left out. So, very long story short, I have not found the Traveler's Notebook. I've found some remnants of it. So we have no idea. It's not under my couch that I know of. I was in there cleaning today and stuck the broom under the couch to pull anything that might be under there, because it's a hideaway bed too. It's a sectional, and then it has a pull-out bed in it. So all along the front, you can't get anything under there because the frame is under there. but along the one side and then where the Chase Lounge is, you can. And it wasn't there. I have no idea what she did with it. I have no idea. So anyway, when I got that stuff from Rebecca Hoot that had bits of the Firefly collection, I was like, I need to get that collection. And so because I'm like making this video really long, I'll just show you quickly. You get 12 by 12 double sheets, one 12 by 12 element sticker, and I think that's it. So, yeah. And they are double-sided. So these are, this is what some of the cutouts were that came in the journal kit. So at least I got some replacement stuff, but I'm really upset because, you know, I paid for that, and there's only like 2 things left out of, unless I have some sitting on my side table and I didn't notice it. But my husband feels really bad because, you know, we don't, you know, sometimes our kids come over and go in the living room and they don't always shut the gate. You know, I mean, our kids, our adult children that don't live here pretty much have full access to our house, you know. And then here's the sticker sheet. So there is that one. So yeah, I'm pretty upset with myself about that. And then I like to get the frames and tags. I'm not going to take them all out, but I'm going to show you. I'm sure everybody's seen this. This is their newest collection. But I have so many projects that I want to do, but I have something in mind to do with this, and we'll see if it happens. And then I got this one, which is, I think this one was maybe on sale, but it is the Be Happy collection. And I will pull that out to show you. And I definitely have something I want to make for a friend with this one. And I know you can see what's in it on the front, but I'll just show you anyway. So it's double-sided. Love the yellows. And then you get your cut apart page. So I'm very excited about this. And I have another project with a different collection of bee stuff that I did that I need to finish. I started and I need to finish. I do that. I start projects. I don't know if anybody else does that. I start projects and then I get sidetracked and I don't finish them. And it's kind of frustrating. But I watch a lot of YouTube videos. My favorite YouTube videos are tutorials. And so I save tutorials of, I'm sure everybody does this, of things that I want to make, because I have some people, some YouTube friends and some other friends that I want to make things for. And save, I need to get on it, but sometimes I just don't have time with working. I don't know how people who are, even if like you're a stay-at-home mom, I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and I didn't have any time for crafting. Of course, my husband traveled, so that might make a difference. And then working 40 hours a week, I have to choose, you know, like today I'm going to go outside and do some flower planting, and then tonight I want to work. I have a couple of journals I need to work on, and so I find myself dividing my time, just because a lot of times, to be completely truthful, I do not feel well, and I just, you know, by the time I get home from work and I sit down and visit with my husband, and sometimes my one son is over here, or really any one of my sons can be over here at any time. Um, but my one son works close to us, so sometimes he comes up on his lunch hour, or sometimes he comes on his way to work, or sometimes he stops on his way from work. And my other son has like a schedule where he works 3 days, has 4 days off, works 4 days. I don't know. It's weird. So he could come at any time, you know. So I'm not going to go in my craft room while they're here. But anyway, this one, I got the ephemera pack. And I like to use the frames to make little shakers. So there is that one. I think it's cute. And then the last one I saw this and I was like, I have to have it. And this I will probably use in my garden journal. And this one's called Secret Garden. I think it's so beautiful. So we'll see what papers make the cut. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you think you're going to use certain papers and then you don't, and because they maybe don't go. And like I said, with the journals, it doesn't really matter. But this is really cute. And this is thicker, so it can bulk up your journals. I like to use composition notebooks to make my junk journals, but this says, if I'm honest, I have to tell you, I still read fairy tales, and I like them best of all. You belong among the flowers. Look at the magic all around you. These are such beautiful moments. How does your garden grow? So very cute cut aparts. There's the back. And look at this. See, now that goes perfectly, I think. Maybe not perfectly, but it could potentially go nicely. Maybe. They're not going to be on the same page, you know, so it probably doesn't matter that much. So, and here's the back. And then you get one that has the fairy tales, which this would go good with that book club one from She Made Herself Stronger by Fighting with the Winds. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. Our story begins today. In the end, we all become stories. There is so much life in seeds of hope, little moments. Here's the back of that one, the back of this one, the back of this one. I do believe something very magical can happen when you read a good book. And the secret garden bloomed and bloomed, and every morning revealed new miracles. She found herself counting all the little things. Happiness blooms from within. Water it with gratitude. Right here, right now, there is nowhere else I'd rather be. And here's the back of that one. Isn't that just gorgeous? Gorgeous, darling. The back of that one. And then more cut parts. Let your heart be a garden of happiness blooming with love and laughter. It's the moments we spend together that truly matter. Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. So cute. So what I'm thinking that I might do is cut these down to like 8 by 11 or 8 by 8, and then just use and here's the stickers, and just use the excess, the part I cut off in the junk journal, so that I don't waste the paper. So that is what I'm thinking with that. And then I did get the frames and tags with this one, so I can make lots of little pockets. So, and this one is Cartabella, but it's still Echo Park, or comes from Echo Park. So that is it. And like I said, I do have another Echo Park order coming, and then I have something from Deb's Deals coming, and that's it for. I probably won't do any more paper shopping for a bit. But like I said, when I go on vacation, I will probably be stopping, at some craft stores along the way. So that is it. I will talk to you guys in my next crafty video. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you later. Bye.
What's